Galaw ka nga sa kanan mo. Kaliwa. Taas kamay.
Hey there, it's me, Leri. You might have seen my latest post about coming here to Singapore.
Teacher Leri goes to Singapore!
But before I share more of my journey here, let me share with you another ESL company that I would highly recommend. The name is Jessi English School, and it's also one of the companies I've been with. For the upcoming videos, I'll be sharing some of my classes in this company. I'll be giving you the frequently asked questions or the answers to those frequently asked questions. For those teachers who have messaged me about 25 Hoon and 5 on Talk, I have answered most of the questions, but then I am no longer affiliated with the companies. I suggest you direct your concerns to the admin instead, so you'd get more accurate response and more updated response. So going back to Jessi English, it is another ESL company that you might consider. I have my cheat sheet here, so I won't lose my train of thoughts. The platform for teaching is via Zoom, so you have to be familiarized with the Zoom tools. And if you have third-party tools that you can use, then it's better, but screen sharing is something that you have to be familiarized with. And what else do I have here? The rate. Generally, the starting rate is 112.50 Philippine peso every 13-minute class, and 150 pesos every 40-minute class. Thus, the hourly rate is equivalent to 225 pesos. And if your performance is good enough, your rates may increase after 6 months of excellent attendance and performance. I will mention something about the penalties later, which I find very interesting. For the lesson materials, company will provide ebooks or electronic books and audio files for you. You just have to handle and facilitate the lesson according to your style. So if you have spare time, if you were able to discuss the lesson within the period of time and you have some more time for extension activities, and you may use your own lesson plan, but that's optional, not necessary. Next is the incentives. Yes, there are incentives for perfect attendance. There are also renewal incentives and year-end bonuses. In my case, I wasn't able to get this because I had to leave the company because, as mentioned, I had to move here to Singapore for another job offer. But the admin's really nice. As long as you can prove that you've done extra effort, create a summary of those things you've done, extra projects you've done, and probably ask for an increase. Okay, next is the application process. It's quite simpler compared with other ESL companies. Step 1 is to send your resume and introduction video recording to a Skype ID. I'll put the name here, the ID here. Or you can also email it to this address, email address. Step 2, once you're shortlisted, you will have an initial interview and a demo class. Step 3 is the evaluation of demo class recording. You will be given feedback or room for improvement. Okay, next. Sorry, my battery died. Where was I? Final interview. So in this part of the process, you will be briefed on how the lesson will flow, on which parts of the lesson you have to highlight on, discuss thoroughly, and what kind of approach would you do? What kind of teaching style would you use for a certain age of a student? And the last step would be the job offer. So the Miss Jade, the admin, would discuss with you the salary, the incentives, the leaves, and everything you need to ask it during the job offer. Next is the qualifications. First is you need to be a bachelor's degree holder. You need to have a neutral accent, no attendance issues. You can provide excellent instruction to Korean kids. You can complete reports and assess students' progress promptly. That means you'll have this daily report and monthly report for the students for their progress, as all teachers do. So you'll have to assess their progress in a way that is specific to them. And you have to be passionate, perky. You need to balance fun and creativity while applying the lesson so the students won't get bored. You have to be flexible enough with any level of student. You have to be a team player if you want to stay longer in the company. You can work with minimal supervision, and the company prefers female teachers. I don't know the reason behind it. Maybe you can ask the admin. Next is their technical requirements. Laptop with at least Intel Core i3 processor. You need to have a backup power supply, as most ESL companies require. You need to have good internet connection, preferably with LAN cable connection. Next is here. This is the interesting part. Their penalties. Unlike the other ESL companies, Jessi English imposes no penalties, but the catch is incentives would be forfeited. So for example, in 1 month you've gotten 1 or 2 absences, then your incentive for the month will be forfeited, but you will not have any penalty. Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about Jessi English. There's no heartbreaking penalties. And what else? For their lesson reports and feedback, yes, there is a lesson report, but this is free form. They don't require a format, but you at least have to include the comments for the students' performance on the lesson, rooms for improvement, and their homework. Those 3 things are the most important parts of the lesson report. Okay, I'll just read this one through. Free-form comments or feedback is required every after lesson. Giving homework is also necessary. Homework will be based on the curriculum that they have, so you don't have to make your own homework. This will be given to you as well. Okay, next, frequently asked question is, what is Jessi English and when did it start? So Jessi English started with few adults and kids classes in December 2019, but it officially launched its website on the 3rd week of January 2020. So the number of students grew as time went on. And for the students' profile, students are from South Korea with ages 5 to 16 years old. The type of class is fixed regular classes, so you will have your regular students for sure with their fixed schedule, and they have a contract from 1 month to 1 year, so your student would stay with you. Hashtag walang iwanan. Hashtag stick to one. Okay, for the next FAQ, the class hours. Classes starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Korean time. That is equivalent to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Philippine time. So that's something that you have to highlight on. You have to take note of that Korea is 1 hour ahead of the Philippines. Are teachers full or part-timers? They accept both. As long as you can open during peak hours, that is 7 to 9 p.m. Korean time. That is equivalent to 6 to 8 p.m. Philippine time. Mondays to Fridays only, no weekend classes. There's no Saturday to Sunday classes. And next question is the salary or their mode of payment. They issue salary bi-monthly on the 5th and 20th of every month. Online transfer through any bank remittance centers. Salary could also be issued via GCash, PayPal, and PayMaya. Lastly, their mode of communication with the admin is through Skype. So you need to install Skype the moment you apply and wait for their notifications there. And that's it for the frequently asked questions about Jessi English. For the next video, I'll be uploading one of the classes I've had in this company. I'll see you again soon. Bye!
Ready? Lights, camera, action.
I see you. Thanks, Batsy.
Final version. 3, 2, 1, go!